I'm also an amateur food critic. I also have conversations about which restaurants I like best, which foods I like best. But it makes me feel uncomfortable because the job of a food critic and the spiritual vocation of a Jew are in conflict. A food critic is there to find the best of everything. But in actuality, the Torah teaches us that our job is to see the best in everything. The Mishnah tells us that you make a blessing even on water, even though it is not a remarkable drink in any way, because it nourishes us and it takes away our thirst. And if you look for the best in everything, then what happens is you begin to lose your appreciation for everything else. This is a process that is called hedonic adaptation. And so when you're searching for the best entree, for the best wine, for the best scotch, all of a sudden, you can't appreciate anything else. And that is why being an amateur food critic actually makes me uncomfortable. But there's a personal reason for this as well. My mother, who was in Auschwitz, used to like to use the European phrase, hunger is the best cook. And she would talk about that the first time that she escaped from the Nazis and the first meal that she had, which was a very simple meal, she said it was the best meal she ever had in her life. And if you would take 5-star Michelin chefs and have them sit and create their best entrees, they would not taste as good as that meal. Because when you're starving, there is nothing that tastes better than even the simplest of meals. And when I go out to a restaurant and someone asks me what the meal was like, and even if they served the soup cold and the service was terrible and the steak was burnt, I think in the back of my mind that hunger is the best cook and that we need to thank God for every meal, even if they're not perfect, because they're perfectly good. And a meal that's perfectly good, we need to thank God for.